Hi everyone, welcome back to my video. I am so excited for today's video. It's actually a request from someone who claims to be my biggest fan. So thank you, sister, so much. I'm actually very excited to do this reading. This reading is going to be about if you were to ask out a certain someone that you had feelings for or just wanted to get to know, what would their reaction be? So if you were to make advance on someone, how would they react? How are they feeling? What sort of energy would you get from this person? So putting the piles together was a lot of fun. One of these piles was already being a pretty interesting pile, but I won't tell you which one. So we will do this reading, see what we see. You got 4 piles to choose from, and the first pile is the heart, Ace of Hearts, which in tarot is the Cups. And then you have the Ace of Diamonds, which in tarot is the Pentacles. Then you've got the Ace of Spades, which is the Ace of Swords. And then you've got the Ace of Clubs, which is Wands in traditional tarot. So you want to pick the pile that is speaking the most to you, and we will get started with our reading. All right, so I'll give you guys a minute. Okay, everyone, we will get started with pile number 1. I'm just going to move these piles aside for now. All right, so pile number 1, if you chose the Ace of Hearts, which is Cups, this reading is for you. We will be taking a look at the energy of your person if you were to make an advance on your person. So if you were to ask them out, if you were to approach them, what would their energy be like? What would they not like? Based on the energy that I'm picking up today. I'm so blessed to be here. I'm so blessed to be able to read into your energy, and thank you so much for those of you guys who have subscribed and are liking my videos. It is lots of fun. So we'll get started with pile number 1. So this card is going to give the overall feel. If you're not feeling the vibe, if this ain't your situation, then you might want to hop on to pile number 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so past life relationships. So you have known each other before. Okay, so this one, I mean, not surprising, you know, with the cup speaks of emotions and very deep emotions here, because this could potentially be a past life. It could be with a soulmate or a karmic partner or your twin flame, someone that when you met or when you were introduced to this person, you kind of already felt like you guys have had a past. There was an instant click. You automatically just felt like you knew this person. There was a comfortable feeling, obviously a lot of passion. And I'm also picking up that potentially you two met kind of as coincidence, like maybe just kind of last minute going out, not intending to, but then just coming across each other just kind of in an unconventional way, not, you know, planning on meeting, not like on a dating app or not intending to meet someone. So it's kind of like a coincidental bump in. That's what I'm picking up for pile number 1. So if this resonates, then let's take a look at how this person would react to your advances. All right, so we're going to do the tarot. So we got the Sun, we got the Chariot in reverse, we have the High Priestess, and we have the 10 of Swords. Okay. So I am picking up that this individual felt, or feels, I guess, the same way you felt when you guys met each other. They were feeling the same connection, the same familiarity. They also had that instant connection. I am sensing that this person is going through a painful time in their life. Like they may be experiencing a dark night of the soul. And they're kind of really deep in their own emotions right now. They're a little bit off balance. So their mind is not super clear. Also, if you were to approach them, they would probably not give you full truths of what's going on right now in their life. I'm just picking up from here that they're not really seeing you as an opportunity at this moment. Not that there's no emotional feeling or passion. I just see that they are more focused on understanding what's going on in their life right now. So like I said, maybe, they're experiencing a dark night of the soul where they're just not in their usual right mind frames. Some may be going through a separation of some sort, or the ending of something that is very painful to them. They're not feeling like themselves. And I don't really see timeline on here. And because this is a collective reading, I'm not sure how long this will last, but I am sensing from spirit that timing is not quite on. You may or may not want to do it anyway. That's definitely and totally up to you. Just what I'm seeing here is this person would most likely not even be receptive, and whatever output comes from this person would probably be, not that it's not truthful, but they would have a lot that they're not going to communicate to you at this time. So the first two cards we have here are going to communicate just two areas that are kind of not necessarily deal breakers, but I guess could be very well deal breakers, but areas of just, I guess, opportunity, if you will. I have to be politically correct, or areas that this person just is, they're not going to like, not just with you, but just in any relationship. So you may want to be aware of this, or you may not care. Children. So either they would want somebody who already has a child. I see child here. I'm sensing that this person would like to have children. So if you aren't able to have children, probably would be a little bit discouraging for them. Maybe they have children right now and that's kind of their world. So anyone who isn't understanding children or doesn't have children or hasn't experienced children will probably not understand what this person is about. So that may be a kind of a deal breaker. I am sensing though that this person is fairly young. I don't know why 27 is kind of coming to mind, but they are kind of young. They do want children is kind of what I'm picking up for the most of you guys here. So if that's something you are not wanting, then that may be a harsh reality with this individual. So they don't like lack of ambition. So if you are planning on being just someone who is aimless, maybe you don't have focus, or maybe you're the type of person who wants to be in a relationship where an individual kind of drives the partnership a little more than the other. They don't really like that. They want someone who is ambitious, somebody who's driven, somebody who is able to kind of stand their own. I'm picking up this is a lot for career, as well as just somebody who has drive and isn't just kind of coasting through life. So that's important to them in a connection. Now, these two cards are going to speak to, I guess, what they would like to see, or I guess top priorities if they were to connect with someone in a connection. So sweet. So they want someone who is sweet, innocent. I'm getting like kind of like take home to mother type person or mother or father, just somebody who is, you know, sweet, who's kind and gentle. That's the type of person that this person is interested in or likes. We also have laughing, so there's somebody who likes good humor. Maybe they, you know, when they're kind of over this dark night of the soul, maybe taking them to maybe a comedy place or watching funny movies. Maybe you have a funny personality, so you can keep them laughing, keep things kind of light. Maybe keep things light while they're experiencing this dark night of the soul. Now I just keep saying dark night of the soul, but really this is what I'm picking up from these three cards here, right? The really positive card here is the Sun, which, you know, these three here are really showing me somebody who is very much going through something painful, and they're not ready. They're not ready to move forward right now. So this final card is going to say, if you were to ask this individual out, what would their reaction be? So again, this is just, you know, the energy as it stands today. If you were to move forward with this plan and ask this individual out or give them the sign that you were interested in them, how would they feel, or what would be the energy? So we got sweetness. So, you know, when you are in a dark place, sometimes it is nice to feel sweetness, because if this person is really wrapped up in darkness, seeing the sweetness, because you see sweet here, may help to heal or trigger something in this individual to see you as maybe someone that they could potentially start, you know, a connection with, a deeper, meaningful connection. So potentially it may be, you know, a good idea. I would just say that I wouldn't set my expectations on anything unless you're doing it kind of as a friend to this person, which really should be, well, again, I can say should be, could be, but Spirit is saying if you're still inclined to, you know, be a friend to this individual, that would be most likely in your best interest, because this is a twin flame. And as these journeys go, as most of you know, you're going to have this dynamic of a pretty big challenge or hurdle to overcome. So, and because I'm picking up, you know, that 27 age range, I'm still thinking this is a fairly young person who is, you know, or it could be an older person going through this experience, but I'm picking up a younger person who's kind of experiencing this dark night of the soul kind of for the first time, or at least to this level. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for pile number 1. Thank you so much for joining me again. You know, feel free to pursue whoever it is that you want to, and energy does change. So if you're feeling confident enough and just motivated enough, and if, you know, your intuition is telling you to go for it, then, you know, who am I to say yes or no? I'm just a pair of talking hands on the internet. But I do wish you so much luck. I wish you all the best. You deserve nothing but the best, and maybe, you know, start laughing without them, because that's what I would do. Anyway, thank you. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. I'm so blessed for you to give me the opportunity to read your energy today of you and your person. I will use energy and spirit and these cards to communicate to you what it is that I see today. We will be taking a look at if you were to approach your person, to ask them out, or to, you know, advance on them to see where they're at, if they're open to a connection with you, to kind of take this to the next level. What would their response be? What energy would they feel for you? And maybe just pick up where they're at right now, mentally, emotionally. So pile 2 is the Ace of Diamonds, which is Pentacles. I did notice this one is dirty, so I couldn't help but think maybe there's some dirty personalities coming up in here, but we'll see what we see, and I couldn't quite clean it, not sure, but let that resonate however it does. So the first card we have here is going to be the overall tone of the connection or relationship. If you're not feeling it at all, doesn't sound like your person or situation, chances are you're probably in 1, 3, or 4. But here's the first card. So it says romantic feelings. So your feelings are real and worth exploring. So right off the hop, I'm sensing Spirit is saying it's worth exploring. So that's a positive sign. We'll see more what the cards have to say, but that is a pretty positive indicator that your person is also feeling romantic feelings for you. I have a sense that you kind of met this person when you guys were in it with a group of people, but you were kind of removed out of your element. So I'm picking up that they were more in their element than you were when you met this person, and you weren't quite sure how they were feeling, but Spirit is saying that they feel the same way you're feeling. And yeah, so if this sounds like something that could explain your connection to this individual that you were thinking of, then you might want to stick around here and find out what messages we have. Okay, so we're getting into the tarot. So we have Death. We have the 5 of Wands in reverse. We have the 10 of Wands upright. And then we have the 3 of Cups in reverse. So let me just take a look at this. So I'm picking up for this person that they'd want to know if you were to pursue them or show interest, that you were also starting new, that there weren't any sort of struggles or challenges or anything going on in your life right now that would overwhelm them or burden them or make their life more difficult. They also don't really like, they're not very extroverted. They don't really like doing things, I guess, if you will. So if you do ask them out, which I highly encourage, you probably should based on what Spirit's telling me, you might want to pick a place, or let them decide what it is they want to do, but somewhere where it's a little bit more intimate, not so social. And I think that's going to put them in their comfort area a lot better to kind of start the connection. But if you do have any sort of challenges right now that may be heavy on this person, that might be something that they are not really open to at this time. It really depends, but that's kind of the sense that I'm getting, that they think that, you know, being in a connection where maybe another individual isn't where they're at is maybe too burdensome, or they're just not willing to go all the way backwards in a relationship and kind of start, you know, ground level, if you will. I mean, they want to start new with you, but definitely not ground level with somebody coming in with all this baggage and understanding it and kind of unpacking everything that that person has, which, I mean, is kind of part of life. So if this is an older individual, best of luck, because most people do come with their baggage. But you know, this is kind of what I'm sensing from this person. So we're gonna pick the next 2 cards, which are gonna show areas where this person may consider something a deal breaker, or an area that they kind of wouldn't like in another individual in a connection, or a turn off of sorts. It could be characteristic, or just something that they wouldn't necessarily like or be open to. So friends meddling. So I think this also has to do with, like I mentioned, them not liking to be so social with a bunch of people. They are introverted, so friends meddling, if you're the type that, you know, has a lot of friends over, or you're kind of spilling the beans to your friends about what's going on, that's kind of a really big turnoff for this individual. Yeah, they don't like friends meddling in their business at all. Or if you're like the type that just, you know, is very transparent with, let's say, your social media about things, if you started posting pictures about you with you and them, or just like kind of airing your dirty laundry, that's a big no for this person. They don't like conceited people. I mean, who really does? But I think they're more liking people who kind of let them take the reins more so than, you know, they kind of want things simple. They don't want someone with baggage. They don't want someone conceited or somebody who's going to drive a lot of it, because they kind of want to be the drivers of the relationship, is what I'm getting from this conceited card. So now we'll get the flip side, I guess, characteristics or 2 areas that, you know, are desires for this person, or what they look for in an individual that they want to have a connection with. So ambitious. So they do want somebody who, despite letting them control the relationship, I say control, but, you know, calling most of the shots on how their connection goes, they do want someone ambitious for themselves. So somebody who, you know, has a good career, who has some drive, who's just a kind of a more ambitious type personality. That's a turn on for this person. And then driven. Okay, so because you got double same type of message, that is certainly something that this person finds very attractive in another individual, somebody who is driven, ambitious, and kind of goes after what it is that they want. So I think by asking them out is going to be a very good sign, because you're kind of taking the reins, you're being ambitious and driven, but, you know, once you're kind of in that relationship with them, maybe let them take the wheel if you're so inclined to do so. Maybe you like just kicking back and, you know, not doing stuff. I don't know, but that's what that's showing. And then this card is going to show you, if you were to follow through with asking this individual out, what would their response in energy be? How would they be feeling? You ready? Death. Okay, well, this is actually a pretty positive card. I think what it's really explaining is they can actually let go of how they have you in their mind. So if, let's say, you guys are friends now, like just friends, they can let that go to, you know, level up, I guess, in this relationship and start anew. Also, I'm getting a sense that if they are seeing people but not seriously, they can let all that go too, to start, you know, a more partnership in this connection with you. So I think that they are really looking to start something with you, but at the same time, you know, unless this moves forward, they're not going to let go of the, you know, all the other connections that they may have, or, you know, if they are seeing someone, you know, they're just kind of going to continue doing what it is that they do until you maybe show some initiative here. But I do sense that from this individual, they will certainly be receptive to taking this level, taking this relationship to the next level and kind of leveling up in this connection, and seeing where it goes. So I'd say this is pretty positive. I'd say, you know, go for it. And cards are showing a pretty positive. I didn't see anything dirty here. I was expecting to see something, but this person does, I sense, is pretty passionate. I sense that you're probably pretty passionate. So, you know, things could get pretty heated up between the two of you. But yeah, so that's your reading for pile number 2. I am so blessed to be able to read your energy today. You know, hopefully some of this resonated, and I'm so excited for you. Let me know in the comments if it does work out. I'd love to hear about it. All right, well, maybe not, because they don't want you posting anything about the connection, but I don't know. Anyway, we're all curious to know. Okay, we'll move to pile number 3. Thank you. Hello, my wonderful people of pile number 3. I am so excited to be here today. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy of you and your person. We will be doing a reading that will give you an idea of what your person is, how your person would react if you were going to ask them out or show interest or advance on them, how they would take that energy, what would their response be. So you did pick pile number 3, which is the Ace of Swords, or I guess this would represent swords, the Ace of Spades. So the spades generally, you know, when you're looking at cards, could mean clarity, clarity of mind, intellect. Also could mean communication. So I'm just picking up that this person you probably chat with through an electronic device. I'm picking up that it is more of a intellectual communication type relationship or connection at this point between you and your person. So I'm going to read one card that's going to give an overall tone to what this connection, what I'm picking up for this connection. And if this sounds like your person and your connection, then carry on with this reading. If not, then you might want to jump to the first 2 or the last pick a pile. So love yourself first. So your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So I'm just picking up right off the hop that someone here is out of someone's league. And this person doesn't really have a whole lot of self-esteem, even though they're pretty intellectual. They feel like they just feel really not at that person's level. So I think the feelings are mutual. Definitely the feelings are mutual, and there's a lot of passion, but this individual just is like you can even see in this picture, like this guy is like unsure, like he's like, I want to, but I just don't really know. I'm just picking up from here just a really sweet connection between 2 people, where one person is just kind of maybe lacking the confidence to step forward. So this may be a good opportunity for, you know, and maybe that's you, so you're not even sure how you would, yes, maybe this is you and you're not even sure how to go about it. So you could be one of the flip people. If you're the confident person, just go ahead and ask this guy. Like, if you won't, someone else will, because this guy seems very sweet, very smart. But if you are the guy who's reading this, I'm just saying guy, I mean, you could be a guy or a girl, but this masculine energy of someone who's feeling less than, you know, or not less than, just they don't feel like they're at that person's caliber. That's a very tough situation to be in, but I think you just need to love yourself first, exactly what the card's saying, and really just build your confidence up so that you can confidently ask this person out. But we'll see what the rest of the cards say. So we have the tarot here to give us a little bit more insight. Okay, so 8 of Michael. You can be free, make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. So give me 2 things. So the 8 of Swords here is really just speaking to, and it was in reverse, but I think in this case, either which way you see it, is about somebody who is kind of feeling like confined and not, you know, confined to their own making and not courageous enough to take the step. I have a feeling I'm reading for the person who isn't courageous enough, or they are courageous enough, but they're just not certain how to go about to build up the courage to ask the other person out. It's Spirit's way of saying, you know, you really are just seeing it from such a clouded lens, your own perspective, and that really, you know, once you take the initiative to do it, you kind of set yourself free. Like, what's the worst thing really that can happen here, you know, at the end of the day? So you do have the 4 of Michael, insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. So I take it that this individual, you know, is kind of more prone to stress, partly because they're not maybe loving themselves first. Maybe you're, you know, needing to just kind of relax yourself. If you're too caught up in this, then you may kind of hype yourself up just to psych yourself out. So I would just kind of try to relax, and if you can, you know, and really do some stuff for yourself so that you can kind of build on your confidence before you go in to ask this person. So you got the Knight of Raphael, romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So certainly pick that up, you know, from this card over here, that this is, you know, a connection that is two-sided. Both individuals want to kind of run in, poetic, introspective, like the, you know, these people definitely connect on an intellectual level. It is very sweet and very romantic right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if you still ask your person out, that they would understand your position and they would say yes. So you have the King of Ariel, successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. Your plans are working out very well, professional and financial success, using resources wisely. So I really take it that, you know, there's stability to be had in this connection, just having to take that first few steps. But I'm really sensing that, you know, once you kind of get over this hump or awkward stages, there will be, you know, plenty of opportunity to kind of stabilize or ground the connection. I'm also picking up that maybe financially, maybe there's an off balance here, or at least someone's thinking that in their mind. But Spirit's here to just say that that's just psyching yourself out, that that's not really even, you know, what this connection should be about, because this is really about heart matters and feelings, and, you know, that's really what's kind of pressing through here. So for your individual, we'll take a look at kind of deal breakers or areas that this person is not really into or off-putting to them when they're in a connection. So we have sensitive. So if you're, you know, a sensitive person, but yeah, like have bouts of emotions, they don't really know what to do with somebody like that. So if you're always kind of crying or nagging or complaining, or like if you're just showing these like emotions a lot, this person doesn't really like someone who is so sensitive. Also, I take it that because they're very intellectual, they like to challenge, have challenging conversations. So if you get offended very easily, this person just doesn't really, they don't like that type of personality that might get offended very easily to some topic that they might just be discussing. So sensitive people aren't really their cup of tea. So history in the relationship. So this one could very well mean that the history in their relationships in the past have maybe made them more receptive to maybe somebody coming in with the same signs that their past partner did. So, I mean, how would we know what they are? But let's say if their ex was, you know, really controlling, the history of that relationship just really is kind of stuck in their mind. So if they are in a connection where someone's controlling, it's really off-putting to them. They don't really want, you know, to repeat same patterns or mistakes. So you almost, in this case, what I'm getting from Spirit is you just have to really understand this individual, you know, keep on the path of having these conversations, but understand this individual and kind of how they tick, and just be yourself, certainly. But I'm sure you'll find out from them what, you know, some of the history in their relationships, the things that kind of went sideways on them or that they're more sensitive to, that are deal breakers for them. So now we have these two love cards. This is going to show areas that, you know, do excite them, that they like about a connection. So it could be a characteristic or just something in a connection that's attractive to them. So unspoken bond. So a lot of this can also speak to, you know, when you're with someone and you don't really have to say much. You just know. You just trust your person. They're loyal. You just know that person. So I think trust is very important here in this one. You know, they like to be in a connection where they just meet someone and just know that that's their type of person. You know, that's kind of what turns this person, floats their boat, turns them on, safe. So they want to feel in a safe environment. I think they've probably had a pretty rocky past relationship, so they do want to feel safe that if they were to, you know, entertain this connection, that they would remain safe to do so. So I think Spirit's just saying maybe, you know, put them in an environment where they do feel safe, that they can speak their mind, and be open to what, you know, what's going on, or else they may be closed off. So this last card is going to speak to if you do pursue that person and ask them out, what would their, you know, initial energy or reaction be to that, to your asking them out. So we got here movement. So this is a very positive card. So yes, certainly if you were to ask them out, they would say yes, they would agree. Green means yes. Green is, you know, go. Green is heart chakra. Green movement, movement in a forward direction. So I do see that, you know, this person would say yes. I would encourage you to go ahead, and if you're feeling it, you know, I think this person's feeling it too. So thank you so much, guys. This concludes the reading for pile number 3. I am so blessed to read your energy and your person's energy, and just would like to thank you for joining me on this video. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. All right, hi pile number 4. This is your pile. You picked the Ace of Clubs, which is Wands. Now, if you skip the intro, we will be picking up the energy from your person, how they would respond to advances that you make on them, or if you were to pursue your person or ask them out, you know, how would they respond? Would they be receptive to it? Would they be turned off by it? You know, what did they like? What wouldn't they like? What would they respond to? When I was putting this pile together, I felt so much energy coming from this pile. It was pretty insane. So welcome to pile number 4. I'm really excited to see what it is that we find out together. But yeah, so this would be Wands. Wands speaks of passion, you know, drive, passion, just really moving forward with intent. So that's a very positive feeling I'm getting from here. But I will read the first card, and if it sounds like your connection, then, you know, you can definitely stick around. If it does not sound like your connection at all or your person, then chances are you're probably in one of the first 3 piles. This could be the one. So maybe this is why I was picking up these crazy intense vibes from this pile, and you'll see why later too. Just extra cards were just coming out all over the place, and so I took an extra card because, like, fine, be that way. But just cards. Every time I was like shuffling, these cards are just coming all crazy. So this could be the one. I mean, could it be any more obvious than sensing that this person is the one, and then definitely sensing that you're the one too? I do see that you know, that there is a little bit of distance between these two, and they're not sure. Both are not sure. But Spirit is here for those who are questioning whether, you know, who wants confirmation that this is maybe their twin flame or their, you know, the one. This is saying it's the one. So very special, very lucky. You guys are very blessed. I think this is a beautiful card. But yeah, I also take here that you guys are, well, I mean, because they're not very close together, so you guys might be apart right now, like distance-wise. I also pick up that the lady is, or I guess the female is just kind of more waiting for the male to, or the masculine to do something. But he's not quite sure what it is that she wants him to do. So he's looking at her for like instruction almost, or like verification. And she's just like, duh, like, I'm not gonna tell you, not because she doesn't want to, but she's just like in awe and nothing's coming to her. And he's just like, What do I do? So this could definitely be a situation where you may want to take the reins because they may be in this position for a while, but this could be the one. So if that does sound like your connection, then stick around. We'll see what we find out. If not, then move to one of the other piles, but we will read these cards here and see what more we see. How exciting, guys. All right. Contract. So could very well be that maybe one of you guys is in a marriage. Could be that one of you guys is kind of working on a deal of a lifetime. So maybe they just got into their career. Maybe they signed a contract to go travel someplace, but there is like legal stuff going on right now. Maybe somebody's gonna have to get out of a marriage, but that's what I'm seeing with contract right here. Attachment. So this definitely speaks to the twin flame connection. I mean, there's very easy to form an attachment to an individual. I think in this case there probably is an attachment of energy, which in any case attachments aren't really healthy. You see this lady is kind of bound to this post and is kind of not really able to free herself, but you do see that she's taking off this mask. So I think that this will be a series of steps within this connection to get to where they need to be. So right now somebody's taking off their mask. Could very well be that she's kind of calling out to him, to the masculine, to take off his mask. She's kind of here held captive or bound by other obligations, maybe contracts. So you do have the woman holding a coin. So it could very well be that there's a lot of legal stuff going on right now with financials that might be hindering your person. And they may be involved in a lot of that type of stuff. Maybe it's you, but I'm sensing there's probably most likely a divorce or something happening over here where finances, legal stuff, is really the primary focus of what's going on here. Then you got the first chakra, Archangel Michael. So first chakra, I mean, this is definitely going to be something from the heavenly calling, something from above. So I think if you're feeling this in this connection, your individual certainly feeling that as well, that there is just this unspoken knowing that's going on right now in this connection, and they're probably thinking the exact same thing that you're thinking. So if you're thinking you're gonna ask them out, they're probably thinking, how do I ask her out? These two guys kind of look the same to me, just their bone structure, just even the expression on their face, kind of like they're in deep thought, like looking to see what is she going to say, like looking to see like what's next. So I think this person does like a little bit of direction, or at least wants to make sure that they're not going too far ahead, to wait for the other individual to kind of maybe call the shots and say it's okay, and like give them more signals, because they'll question every signal. So even you can come out right out and say ask me out, and they'll be like questioning whether they should come out and ask you out. So I think they just need confirmation, but you can certainly ask your person out and see where it goes, and I think Spirit is encouraging it. So now for your next cards, and this one wanted to give 3 cards. These cards are going to speak to areas where your person is just maybe deal breakers, or areas where your person really isn't really all that attracted to. So it could be characteristics, could be just, you know, stuff in a connection that's a turnoff for them. And like I said, all the other piles got 2, but this person was just like, I've got 3 hang-ups, I guess. So a very picky person you've got here, pile number 4. So controlling, so they do not like controlling people at all. I'm sensing this person likes to be free. You know, they have these, they don't like other people kind of forcing them to do anything. But at the same time, he wants to know that, you know, if he does take a step, that he's kind of doing the right thing. He kind of needs more confirmation than somebody telling him what to do, because they don't like controlling people in their life. They're very free-spirited, soul-type people. So different values they don't like as well. So they are very much the type of person who is very traditional in their values. It means a lot to them, maybe their family, their upbringing. So it means something to them, right? They hold their values very close to them, and anyone who kind of maybe even disrespects their values or lives kind of maybe in a different way probably would be someone that they wouldn't want to pursue a connection with. And then this money issue. So we did see this money issue here with the woman holding a coin. I do sense now Spirit is kind of talking about this, maybe, you know, this contract, somehow this, your person is struggling with this money issue. Maybe there's a woman, greedy woman, who is threatening to take his money. Maybe there's a contract that, you know, went kind of sideways, just like it's not really in control of their money because there's these money issues going on. So they may be stressed out about this, and that's what they might be stressing out about, just so you are aware. And then we have 2 cards here that are going to speak to, I guess, areas that this individual, your person, is kind of finds attractive. Could be, again, characteristic or just, you know, something that they look for in a connection or in another individual. So communicate. So they like people who are able to communicate clearly and concisely. They don't like someone who just, you know, if there's something wrong, they just say nothing, right? Or how are you? Fine. But they're not really communicating. So they really want that communication is very important to them. Even though I'm sensing this person probably isn't the best communicator because he's just standing there. I keep coming back to this look on these on this card. He's kind of looking for some communication from her. Like, can you please tell me what I'm supposed to do? So I think he's not quite sure. And this is where, you know, communication would help. Just like, hey, you know, maybe confirmation that what they're doing or how they're going about things is right, rather than just like staying quiet and not, and letting them kind of, I don't know, muck their way through it. Relax. So I think this is Spirit's way also saying if you are going to ask this person out, you probably want to take them somewhere where it's a relaxed environment, or ask them when they're relaxed, you know, not when they're kind of in a stressful place. So if you just like approach them and say, I got something to tell you, or there's something I want to ask you, now you've already built up this stressful situation. So almost Spirit saying, you know, be jovial, have some fun, have an evening of whatever you can, however enjoyment that you do with the group of people or the scenario you normally go out with, before you maybe go ahead and ask this person out. Just don't build it up because it may throw them off, but they do like more of a relaxed type environment. They do like the relaxed type of personality where they feel comfortable and at home with. They're not so corporate. They're not so, you know, structured. They kind of just want to chill and kick it, not be so not relaxed, I guess, if you will. Okay, so this last card is going to be how your person is going to react energy-wise if you do pursue them or ask them out or show interest to them. And if you, if you do approach them, how will they react? Are you ready for your answer? I don't think we'll be surprised, but let's see what we see. Rest. So I think it will actually make them feel at rest, that they don't have to put themselves, you know, in this situation that is kind of uptight. He's kind of got his shoulders tense. you know, I just keep assuming that she's asking him, but I mean, even her, she's like quiet. She doesn't know how to take her first step. It's kind of like two people not really knowing what to do. So it kind of will relieve the other person. If the other person asks them out, it's kind of allows them to feel like, oh, the stress is taken off, right? Like they like to be relaxed. They want to be in this restful place. They don't want to be so like stressed out. And I'm sure there's a lot of energy going on in this connection that maybe just taking some of that stress off of the other individual will be a positive thing. So that is all I have for pile number 4. I am so blessed to do your reading today. Thank you very much for allowing me to pick up on your energy and your person's energy. I really hope I hear from how some of this goes, because I am curious to find out. But yeah, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and we'll see you again. Bye people. Thanks.